third offense felony. And so that was my rock bottom. And sitting in jail, I had already, before I knew I was going to be charged with the felony.
Brady, I was just getting ready to do the last name and fucking forgot it in the thing, and don't want to mispronounce it. So if you would, you're a good buddy of mine. We know each other from the recovery community. We know each other from the running community. Mm-hmm. But if you'd be so kind to introduce yourself and tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Yes, my name is Brady McNamer.
It
was Brandy or Bradley McNamara. So
see, that's
you could have butchered it.
I always want to say McNamara. Yeah. That's what I always want to say. Go ahead.
Grew up in the Midwest in Iowa. Born in Illinois, grew up on the Mississippi River in Iowa. Moved down to Texas in '96 after getting done with college and all that fun stuff, and been in Austin ever since.
What was your original drug? What was your thing?
Booze.
Booze was your.
Yeah, I did enjoy hallucinogens.
Right.
Swore I would never do coke growing up. I grew up playing basketball and a couple other sports, and was a big Len Bias fan. And when he died after getting drafted, there's no way I'm doing that drug. But once I got down here, I've been in the restaurant business, hospitality business since college, and things changed a little bit once I got into bartending downtown.
Pretty predominant in the industry, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
So we originally connected this time last year. I've just come to realize at the Austin Marathon Expo.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I didn't I don't even remember how that came to be. I remember actually meeting you, but
I was going down to pick up my packet, and I had recently learned of you and started listening to your podcast, and you had always seemed approachable, so I just made it a point to come over and introduce myself.
Right.
And it was later in the day because I had just gotten off work, and there wasn't a lot going on, which is great. So I came over and introduced myself, and you just started talking my ear off, and we were hanging out, and I was there for 20, 30 minutes probably.
Yeah.
Chit-chatting with you before leaving. We had a couple of mutual friends, Leo, Philip, so.
Some of the best people I know,
yeah.
Leo and Philip.
Leo and Philip.
Good people to be around. Philip's definitely a friend of the show. He's been on, Philip Spear.
Yep.
But yeah, dude, it was so cool, and to almost a year later, here we are on the thing.
Awesome.
And then I Am Redemption is one of the official nonprofits of the Austin Marathon this year. Last year we just had our little table at the expo. This year we're going to be doing the live podcast, and we got some cool shit going. We're going to be volunteering out there, so exciting times.
It'll be looking good. You had a bunch of people running last year.
Yep, we had
a big group running last year.
Yeah, I think we had about 8 or 10. We have 12 running this year, and we actually have some people flying in to come be part of the team.
That's going to be awesome.
It's all growth.
Yeah.
A lot of these people run their first ever marathons and half marathons, and so it was cool to run it this year and then kind of be on the other. I'm a little jealous I don't get to run it this year.
Same.
But to be able to give the opportunity to those people, and then to be able to be actually out there to support them, is going to be cool.
We'll be at mile 1.
Let's go. You're coming out?
Oh yeah.
Let's fucking go.
I'm there.
Anybody, if you're going to be at February 15th, if this comes out before then, you want to come out and volunteer, come holler at us. But going back to your story, so where did I know rock bottom for me was landing in a prison cell. Mom won't pick up the phone anymore. That was my absolute lowest. Where did it all kind of start for you? And then paint me a picture of at your worst time. What was it looking like?
Yeah, I mean, it started in high school. Was just drinking and smoking a little bit of weed. But when I got in the hospitality business is kind of when it really picked up.
So you've been
in college and in the restaurant and bar business, yeah.
So you've been in hospitality for a long, long time.
Yeah, 1990, I think.
Okay.
I graduated high school in 89, college in 90. So yeah, it was right around when I started college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my first job ever when I was 14 was working for a catering service, and then once I got my license, I became a waiter. So that always remained my constant, no matter wherever I bounced around to when I wasn't doing well. Go get a waiter job.
Make some easy cash.
Easy cash, make friends with the cooks. I got my food locked down, and I'm ready to go. So what do you do in the restaurant industry? What did you start off as, and what are you now?
I actually started off in the back of house washing dishes at this little Tex-Mex place in Iowa, which I know is kind of an oxymoron. It wasn't good by any means, but It was a college town. It was more of a college bar. We had 2-for-1 happy hours, which was kind of going out of existence even back then. So we were one of the few places around that had 2-for-1s. But was in the kitchen, was a little line cook for a short while, but the pretty girls were out front. I wanted to be in front of house, so I moved out to the front of house, server, bartender after that, and just took off from there. I'm currently worked my way up throughout the years, because I moved down here with a couple college friends, and I had never been here before, but we were all got done with college, and we didn't know what we were going to do with our lives. Had a political science degree and fucked off enough. I had no future plans. So we knew we could probably make a career out of the hospitality business down here, and it's kind of what happened. So I worked my way up. I'm a general manager now at popular Austin Mexican comfort food place called El Dorado Cafe.
Yeah. Very, very good spot from everything I heard. We still need to get in there and come see you.
Yes, you do.
So what happens? You just started hanging around afterwards, having a couple of drinks, and it just got a hold of you right off the bat, or what?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it was a slow build. It really took off when I got down here and was bartending and bar managing at Stubbs Barbecue, iconic music venue in Austin, and right in the middle, smack in the middle of downtown, 8th and Red River. Was there for 10 years, 98 to 08, and that's where shit really took off, because every shift was a party, basically. Yeah. We were drinking. That's when the cocaine started coming in. It just kind of walked in the door for us, so we didn't have any problem getting it. So that's when things started. Towards the end of my time there, start getting a little blackout drunk while trying to close down the shop. Fortunately, I had good buddies who took care of me, because I was always the one that seemed to be the worst for wear by the end of the night, a lot of nights.
Really?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where it really took off. And then I had a DUI in college in 91. I had another one in Austin in 01. During that time I was at Stubbs. I was driving home from the Continental Club, residential area, ran into a telephone pole, slow speed, so that was, thankfully didn't hurt myself or anybody else, but totaled that car. So that was DUI number 2. And then to get back to when I left bartending in 08 is when was my first attempts at recovery. I've been trying to get sober since 08. But I was always trying to do it on my own. I went to AA, didn't like it, wasn't for me. So in and out of those rooms. And this is all kind of at the urging of my wife, because she had seen some shit go down while I was at Stubbs. I met her at Stubbs while she was finishing school at UT, so she wasn't around for the late nights, but she had seen me come home.
You don't have to if you don't want to, if you're not comfortable, but can you tell me what went down? You can't leave me on a cliffhanger like that.
What went down with?
You said she saw something go down.
Oh, no, she just saw how my state when I got home.
Gotcha.
And, I had anger issues, so I could be blackout drunk and totally happy and fine, or I could be blackout drunk, raging, fucking mad, and just being angry. Right. And any little thing would set me off. And so things never got physical, thankfully, but she was like, this is fucking ridiculous. Something's gotta give.
Right.
So first thing that's gotta give, and during the last couple of years at Stubbs, I was trying to quit drinking then, but behind the bar, I would last a couple weeks maybe, but all it took was one regular to come in and go, hey, it's time for shots, and I could only turn that down so many times. So then be like, okay, yeah, sure, let's do it, right back. So it was just a continuous cycle of quitting for a couple weeks, back on, and then at that point, hiding it, trying to hide it. So left bartending and didn't really get sober till 2019. So 11 years of off and on, not working on myself, just trying to quit cold turkey.
You said something I want to go back to real quick. I had this thought yesterday, so it's crazy you said it, but you said that AA, it wasn't for you back then. And I was gonna do a video yesterday, and I was thinking of the whole concept and the idea, and I can remember because somebody said that same thing to me yesterday.
Yeah.
And they're like, AA didn't work for me, 12 steps doesn't work for me.
Right.
And it's probably one of the most common things when I'm newly in recovery that I would hear from people in treatment is this didn't work, this didn't work, this didn't work.
Yeah.
And I look back at my victim mentality that I had when I was newly getting sober, and what I really needed was somebody to turn the mirror and look me in my face and be like, why can't you work AA? You know what I mean? It's not all these exterior things that don't work. Like at some point I got to look and be like, it's on fucking me to do this shit.
Yep.
That shit helps. AA's helped millions of fucking people long before I was here, and it'll be helping people long after I'm here.
Yep.
Why does it work for all them and it's not working for you, me? You know what I mean? Something like that.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to think of a tactful way to do a video and kind of make it funny and, you know what I mean? But call out to the truth of like people that are saying that shit were like, bro, I went to high dollar treatment centers and I got sober at state funded treatment. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where the fuck we go.
Yeah. I mean, I think 12 steps is a great foundation.
Yeah.
And that's where I ended up after my third DUI. But yeah, it's like if you're not ready, you're going to tell yourself whatever you want. And the fact of the matter was back then I was being told by my wife to clean my shit up. I didn't think I had a problem still. I didn't want to get clean.
Has she been with you the whole time from the beginning of your problem to the?
Yeah, we met at Stubbs, I guess when I started there around 98, 99. She's a teacher. She was going to UT for education. Married in 05, so yeah.
God bless the teachers
out there. It's been 20
there.
years. Oh yeah, I don't know how she does it. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, thankless job, especially nowadays.
Thankless job, no pay. I mean, I manage a restaurant. I give people great experience through food and drink, and I make considerably more money than her, who's trying to teach our youth. You know, 8th grade language arts. I don't know how she does it. But.
Dude, I've done every manual labor job under the sun, and there was no job I ever had harder than working at a thing called National Youth Sports Program for young kids.
Yeah.
Trying to corral them every day and fucking no, don't stop, quit, don't hit her, don't touch her. I was never more physically or mentally exhausted than from that job. So for a teacher to do that every single year after year, and especially when they're like elementary school or whatever, and they're only seeing those same young, rambunctious ass kids, God bless her.
Yeah, this is her 25th year.
Damn. Good for her.
That's nuts. She's a ball buster though. She doesn't put up with shit.
Good.
So, and your mom was a teacher, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So you know.
Yeah.
Yep. So, it.
Too bad I didn't get her brain though.
Yeah. Right.
Definitely don't have my mom's brain.
Doing all right.
We're doing all right, but
steady. Yeah.
She's an academic. My sister got that part. I look like my mom, but I didn't get the brain part. Yeah. But anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say so. You know, what come 2019 is I came during at that point I was hiding it and drinking like in my car coming home from work or drinking at work sometimes. At this time I was at Taco Deli. I'd been at Taco Deli for 15 years.
Love some Taco Deli.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I opened their 3rd location and then moved up to catering and events management of the locations. But during that time, I was drinking and hiding it, doing little shooters of Fireball. Because here's the alcoholic brain in me. If I drink Fireball, which I hated, but it's cinnamon flavored, I could come home chewing cinnamon flavored gum and everything would be fine. She'd be none the wiser.
Smart man.
That's the addict brain. Yeah.
Smart man.
You know, I had it all laid out, but that wasn't the case. I mean, she knew all the time, and at one point, and she dealt with it, and she tried to, you know, steer me in the right direction, tiptoe around me sometimes because she knew. But one time I came home, obviously very drunk, and you know, the next day I woke up, she's like, "You're going to rehab. I can't do this anymore." It wasn't an ultimatum, but she's like, something has to change. So went to Infinite Recovery for a 30-day outpatient there in December of 19. Had my first great run of sobriety for about 19 months, 20 months. And then relapsed in 22, and that's when I had my third DUI. Played golf with a bunch of buddies, was sneaking fireballs. They weren't, as far as they knew, they knew I was still sober, but that's what I was doing. I was hiding from everybody during that relapse time, because I was probably drinking 4 or 5 months prior to this accident. But I played golf with my buddies that afternoon on a Friday afternoon, driving home, totaled my car, didn't make it through a toll booth.
Damn. So
that was, to answer your question from 20 minutes ago, that's my rock bottom.
Right.
This was August of 22. I'm 51 years old at that time. I'm now looking at my third DUI. I'm sitting in jail, just going, what the fuck? You're under the thumb of the state again. I didn't realize till after I got out of jail that I'm going to be charged with a felony, because I didn't realize at the time the state changed that they could use anyone against you, because the first two were well in the past and off my driving record. And so I'm looking at a felony now and jail time.
Were they trying to charge you as habitual for the third one or no?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Third offense felony. And so that was my rock bottom. And sitting in jail, I had already, before I knew I was going to be charged with the felony, I had already decided I can't be doing this. I'm fucked. I'm going to be under the thumb of the state for 10 years. I'm going to be paying out my ass. I thought I'd be probably going to jail, but like I said, I didn't know it would maybe be a felony. So my wife picked me up a day and a half later from downtown and crying, and she's like, I need you to go to AA this afternoon. There's an AA. I live in Pflugerville. There's a good little AA club up there that I'd been to off and on. And she thought I was going to argue with her, and I didn't. I said, yeah, I know. I'm ready. Went home, took a nap, and went to my men's meeting at 4 o'clock. And after that, it was a rough few months, but those men helped me get through it. I still continue to go to that men's meeting every Sunday afternoon at 4. And but that's when I started reaching out to Chef Philip Spear, because I used to run. I was acquaintances with him back in the day when he was working at Uchiko, which was right next door to the Taco Deli I managed. So, excuse me, had lost contact, but I was kind of scared to reach out to him, because I'm like, he's doing his thing. He doesn't know who I am, poor pitiful me. But I had multiple people, mutual friends, that were like, you need to reach out to him, check out his run club. There's an organization called Ben's Friends that he's leading here in Austin, and I reached out to him, and he responded immediately, and has been a savior for my recovery these last few years.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah.
How, looking back, I know you couldn't tell in the moment, but looking back, how important was that last relapse to you? Because I know for me personally, my last relapse, I had about 8 months clean, dipped my toe back in for about a week. And that was probably the biggest wake-up call I ever had, where it was like, oh, I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm not good at this anymore like I thought I was. This sucks.
Yep. It was the most important thing. It needed to happen. That was the universe telling me, this is it. Mm-hmm. This goes on, you're not going to make it through another accident, And at the time, yeah, it was, some of those old timers in my men's meeting talk about how I showed up that day compared to what I am now, or even what I was like 3 months after that day. The change they saw, but they're like, you came in a broken ass man. And I was. And for those first couple of weeks, like, I had a hard time letting go of the past, and I was future tripping, and those guys helped me get to a point of acceptance. And when I reached that point of acceptance, like 4 or 5 months down the road, the whole world changed for me, because it was like, past is done, can't control the future, stay present, and just see what happens. And things started turning around. Yeah, and that's when I realized that like I can't do this anymore, or I will be dead. And I met a girl in recovery who started going to Ben's friends about the same time I did, who actually was from Iowa as well, but she was about half my age. But she had killed an off-duty police officer driving drunk up by the Domain, and he was working the construction zones. She just ran his ass over, sent him flying. She's now doing 18 years. And we sat through her trial, and it was one of the most life-changing experiences I've ever had.
Really?
And I mean, if I'm ever feeling funky, I just think about her, because she went in at 27, 28 years old. She's got 18 years. I think she's got a parole available in 9, so hopefully she's out in 9. But like, that was her first offense, but she killed a guy, and meeting her and walking through her journey with her is all I needed to be like, yeah, I'm good. That could have been me. I could have killed somebody, could have killed myself. My family is without me, you know. That's all I needed.
Did she do that prior to coming to Ben's friends? Like, she had kind of gotten her shit together but was waiting trial?
Yep. My relapse was in August. My accident was in August. Hers was in June of 22. And yeah. And so it took her a while to get through trial. And then she's been in now last year and a half, I think, up in Marlin, Texas.
Damn. I was just I was having a conversation with a young gentleman this morning, and he's in sober living. And as he was telling me that, I remember my experience in sober living, and that was the first time in my life that I ever began to learn from other people's mistakes. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Where I had made it to a point where I started being able to navigate and see, like, oh, I don't want to do that. I shouldn't do that. This dude's fucking up. Like, so it made me gravitate towards people that were handling their business. And luckily, that's when I discovered the running world. So I was surrounding myself around people, you know, like Philip, or people that have their shit together. But I remember that, looking back on sober living, because, you know, you get sober, you start feeling yourself a little bit, and a lot of people want to move real fast. And it's like, I got to do this, I got to do this. And it was the first time where I finally sat my ass down and understood it was going to take as long as it would take. But that's the most valuable thing I got, was being able to sit back and watch other people that are in similar situations operate and understanding. And so it sounds like that's what happened for you, just at an extreme level.
Totally, yeah. It was like, it was exactly it. And exactly what you're saying, like seeking out people that have what you want. Yeah. You know? And I knew Philip's story, and mine was similar, really. And I knew what he had built.
You've seen the footage. You've seen the footage of his, right?
Yeah.
Wild.
Man, it's brutal. Yeah, it was very public. I mean, he's been through a lot of shit.
Proud dude. So proud to see him.
He's been kicking ass. And that run club, to get back into that running scene. Well, I'd never been in the Austin running scene, but I had grown up running and swimming and playing basketball. So to get back into some running. And I was CrossFitting for like 5 years in the mid 2010, 2015 range. So get back and get some physical activity was a game changer as well. You know, so.
How do you, looking back, because you've been doing the recovery thing for a while, do you feel like recovery has changed from when you were first starting to get sober to now?
Well, at least in Austin it has. Because there's so much available to you now. And it's not just the 12-step program. It's not just rehab, you know? That's what I was telling Steven out there. Like, when I was sitting in jail, I made a decision, like, this time around, I'm casting my sober net much wider than I had before, you know? Because when I had gone through rehab and gotten out, and then it was time to find a home group and stick around in AA, COVID happened, so that was a perfect excuse for me to not go to meetings. Online meetings weren't for me, you know, and that's where relapse started right then and there.
Right.
But I had known that there's a lot more out there, you know. Ben's Friends, sober organization for restaurant professionals, people like you, people like Claire. The community in Austin is just so vast that it's like you got to take advantage of it. There's so much more out there. People are more open about it too, you know, and that's what I love. AA will always be my foundation, but there's some things I don't necessarily agree with all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of it is the anonymity piece, you know. I believe, just like you do, like you gotta share your story. You gotta be out there and let people know what the fuck's going on and what you've been through.
Yeah.
Because people need to hear it.
Right.
Whether they know it right then and there or not, they need to hear it. I've been going through that with a couple kids at work right now.
Right.
Same type of thing. So.
Yeah, one of the things I always say, but I always felt it would have been the most selfish thing I could ever have done was to get sober and go on about living my life.
Yeah.
And I look at that first little bit of time where that's what I was doing. I was trying to get my life back in order. I'm going to meetings. I'm not ever really publicly talking about the things that I'm going through. And number one, I'll tell you, talking about my things publicly has been one of the most therapeutic things I've ever done.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
What can anybody use against me? Everybody knows my shit now. Are you going to call me a heroin addict? You're going to tell me I was homeless? Like, everybody knows.
Yeah.
That was huge, and exactly what you're saying. Like, I don't know if it's the younger generation coming up or just the changing of times or social media or a combination of all of them, but the way people recover out loud now, you know, the first time I got up and told my story or started speaking and watched the effect that it had on people, it was like, how have I not been doing this the whole fucking time? And if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah.
And so it's that, I don't know if it's like that everywhere either. I mean, I'm pretty sure it is. Every little pocket seems to be different, and I know the old school guys still keep the attraction rather than promotion and all that stuff, and I get it. But we're not living in the same times. Like,
no, we're not.
It's very hard pressed. You don't find you're just traditional alcoholic anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now we have mental health, drugs. It's just changed. So we have to change with the times.
I agree. I agree completely.
And going back to what you said about getting involved in the running and the physical fitness, dude, that was like the last piece of the puzzle. Yeah. It was like I had the whole puzzle, and that I put that running piece in, and it was done. Yeah. Like it went from there. Yeah. The community, the activity, what it did for my mental health, physical health, fucking getting those wins every day of, you know what I mean? Like how many times we always want to be comfortable. We want immediate gratification. You don't get any of that out of running.
No.
And so like putting those pennies in the bank every day and going for these runs and then going out and accomplish something, you start building stuff up, and you're like, wait a minute, I can stay consistent. I can do this. I can push myself farther than what I thought, and it's just big every time.
Yeah, I agree. That's been a goal of mine this year, is to be more disciplined with the running and the working out. Like you and I've talked offline, like, you know, it's because it's gotten important for me just for my emotional sobriety more than anything else, to get out there. I mean, I'm getting older, my body hurts and aches a little bit more. That's why I'm getting stronger, thanks to your help. But like I need to stay disciplined and take care of my body so I can continue to be out there to run, because it just helps my head so much. I can go for a 3-mile, 5-mile run and going in with a shitty attitude and shit on my mind, and come off of that an hour, 45 minutes, an hour later, and feel like a new man for the rest of the day. It's like a reset button for me. You know? One of the old timers in AA, he's like, you can restart your day at any point in time, right? Multiple times a day, and I'll always remember that when he says that, and that's what running does for me as well. Any physical activity, for that matter.
I remember one time I went into the doctor's office, and they took my I think I was getting ready to have like a little minor surgery or something like that, and they took all my vitals and all that, and the doctor came in and he goes, are you some type of runner or something? And I was like, yeah, how'd you know? And he goes, your heart rate is super low, especially for somebody that's getting ready to go into a surgery. He goes, man, that is awesome. He goes, do you realize how many years you're adding on to your life? And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, your heart only has so many beats. So, you know, it beats so many times a minute. If you're unhealthy and it's way up here, or he's like, now yours is down in the 40s, you're saving yourself 60 beats per minute or whatever your heart. And I was like, damn, I never thought about it like that.
That's a good way to look at it.
And then even adding another layer, I was talking to another gentleman recently, and he was talking along the same lines, and I think he said he had been listening to like Peter Attia or somebody knowledgeable, and was saying that when he works out and he runs, he's doing it for himself, but he's doing it for his kids, but most of all he's doing it for his kids' kids, because he actually wants to be there. And when they're there, he wants to be able to bend over and pick up his grandson.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've heard stuff like that before, but I don't ever think I was at the age where that truly registered. But now being 43, it was like, God damn, he's fucking right. Like, what if in 10, 15 years you can't bend down to pick somebody up, or I can't bend down to pick up my dog, or whatever it is? It's like, damn, you better start using that shit before you lose it.
Totally. Yep. I agree.
So what are your running feats? What are you, marathons, half marathons? What's your shit?
I mean, I've only gotten one marathon. It was down here in San Antonio, actually, in 13, I think. It was the old rock and roll marathon.
Okay.
That's when I was at my strongest, though, in good physical condition. And but I chose this one because it was flat and it was my first one. My wife, of all people, had run 2 already, and she got me back into running during that time before it fell off again, but because she was doing interval running and had completed 2 marathons that way. And I'm thinking, and we were CrossFitting together at the time, I'm like, well, fuck, if she can do it, I can do it, come on, so did that marathon, was set to run the Austin Marathon later that year, because this one was in December, and came down with the gnarly IT band issue, and doctor was like, you don't do the full. I'm like, well, I'm signed up. And he's like, if you gotta do it, to do the half, but don't do the full. So I did a half, and I've done a handful of other halves, and then this past year was set to run the Austin full again, another IT band issue.
Damn.
That's why I was like,
maybe you're just a short and fast runner.
That's what I'm thinking, but we'll see what happens next year, because if I stick to the program and it's clear that I got to get stronger, right?
Have you done
that's what I'm doing.
How much trail running have you done?
Not much. That's a goal this year as well. I'd like to get out there and do that as well.
Get out there on the trails.
Yeah.
It's so much different, because the road running's so repetitive and just the same muscles over and over. When you're changing, navigating terrain, changing elevations, up, down, all that, it's so much different. And I enjoy it so much more. It's so much more therapeutic. Get out there in nature.
Yeah. I'm down. I was scared and, not, I guess scared, but cautious to do it. But hanging around people like you and others that are doing it all the time, I'm like, yeah, I need to give it a shot. I'll go out. I'll get out there. I'd like to do Big Bend. I just went out to Big Bend for my wife's 50th in October, Terralingo in Big Bend. I'd never been out there before. It's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
I would love to go out there next January and run the Big Bend, like 25K or 30K, whatever it is. One of those smaller distances.
Don't drive that far to only run 25K or 30K.
I'm not going beyond that.
If you're driving all, that's hours,
13,
dude.
Yeah, but that's
you're gonna drive all that. You're gonna drive all that way to go run.
Yeah, and then 13, hang out the 15 rest of the weekend. Yeah,
I guess it is gorgeous out there. Yeah. At the end of the documentary, that's where I'm running, like on those dunes. That was
that was out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we were just talking about that with the director, and one of the scenes I'm like running through the desert part. And they were trying to get the shot like as the sun was going down, the blue light or whatever it's called. And so he kept having me go out and run back and then go out and run back so he could get the shot. And the very last time he sent me, I hear like a sound like that, and I look, and it's a baby rattlesnake had fucking lunged at me, and I just had leaped to the side just in time and was going back. And I didn't realize that baby rattlesnakes are worse than, because they don't regulate their venom.
Okay.
So when they hit, they go all in. You're getting it all. Oh. And so I didn't think, I was like, oh, luckily it was only a baby. They were like, that's even worse. I was like, ooh, glad you told me now. But
that's sketchy.
Yeah, dude, it's gorgeous out there.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So that's, handful of 10Ks. halves and one full. And
you don't got to do crazy stuff.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, the body feels different.
I'm always going to goat you to try to do it, but at the end of the day, as long as we're out there.
I appreciate it. If I can get my body stronger, we'll see what happens. But I turned 55 in a couple of weeks, and I mean, it feels different. It has felt different for the last few years.
Yeah.
You know, but I know I'm better off than most people my age, so that I'll take solace in that.
Yeah,
you know. Yeah,
I do take comfort in that.
Yeah,
I see a lot of people my age or whatever, like, all right, we're on an IA track.
We're doing okay.
Continue mission.
Yeah.
What was it like running your first race and getting that like medal around your neck, or like feeling that sense of accomplishment? Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome, and I think I did it in 3:47, which I was pretty proud of.
Hell yeah.
It was great. It was an awesome high that lasted for a little bit, you know, and kept me going, getting ready for the next race. It was weird because I had been told, you know, you always hear about the bonk or you start feeling shitty around mile 19, 20, 21. That was definitely the case.
Yeah.
You know, but it's crazy how you push through that, and the last 3 miles are nothing.
Yeah,
it's interesting how that works out. Yeah,
it's probably because those last 3 miles is when all those people are sitting there. You gotta show up in front of them. You don't want to just be walking it in.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, that mile 20 wall is a big thing.
Yeah.
Because people don't ever get enough calories in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Usually when we're bonking, it's because we're deficient in calories. Yeah. I didn't know that for the longest time.
Well, and I don't think I was eating anything during that run either.
Yeah, if you don't eat
anything,
even
consider or really learn about nutrition during a long race.
Yeah, I didn't.
So well after that.
Right.
Yeah.
My biggest hope, you know, we have hopefully have a bunch of volunteers coming out for the marathon and all that. But you said something earlier, and that's my hope. Was I think you had saw your wife running the 2 marathons. You're like, well, wait, I think I could do that. Mm-hmm. And that's, people hear marathon, people hear running, and most people stop running before they're even warmed up.
Yeah.
They run a mile and a half, and think they're done. It's like your body hasn't even gotten warm yet.
Yeah.
But that's my hope, is that we have a lot of people come out that are looking to support, that may not be runners, and they take a look out there and they see some of the people that are out there, and they're like, wait a minute, I think I can get out there.
Yep.
That's my hope. You know, everything that I do with the run community, with the run group and all that, is trying to be a bridge to get people to get in the run community, because you're in it. You understand, like, bro, that's the greatest network I've ever been a part of.
Awesome.
The greatest group of people, something that no matter where you can go, all you got to do is have your pair of shoes and you can go for a run.
Yep.
The whole excuses of not having time or not having a place, it's not a thing with running. You can find where there's a will, there's a way. So that's my big hope for people.
Well, it's inspiring. Like, I was out with the Commodore club for supporting and cheering on the what's it called now? Not the 3M, but the Spurs International
half.
A couple weeks ago, you know, and just being out there around those people and watching them, the runners pass by, it's inspiring, you know. And I would imagine you're gonna have some people at the 10 at mile 1 feeling inspired and seeing. I hope so too.
Dude,
it'd be badass.
I mean, it's the best aid station to have too, because it's overlooking downtown. You'll be able to see you can see the Capitol from right there.
It'll be cool.
Just gonna see a massive horde of people coming at you.
Yeah.
All the signs, and I always get cracked up at road races with the signs and the funny stuff. You don't get that at trail races.
I saw a couple beauties last year when running. I can't remember them now, but I was audibly like laughing while running. Like, yeah, it was funny.
There was me and my friend, we were running the half last year, and there were 3 guys up ahead of us. And you know how there will be people standing out in their front yards, and some people will be giving out cookies, some people will be giving out this. These guys had a table of alcohol, and the 3 guys were running up ahead of us, and it was prime entertainment.
Yeah.
And so this one dude ran up, he grabbed 2 beers off the table, and then they had liquor bottles, and he ran up under each liquor bottle and took like a shot of whiskey, a shot of fucking tequila, and a shot of something else as he ran by. Cracked the beer, or no, first he crushed the beer, then he took the shots, and then he's running with this other beer, and dude never broke stride. He was just running the entire time, and I was like, yo, this dude's, I'm not going to partake, but this dude is a fucking legend right here. Yeah. Holy shit.
That's impressive.
I don't know if that's the type of buzz I'd want while I was running, but
No, I can't imagine doing that. Even when I was drinking.
I ain't trying to do shit physical when I'm drinking.
Yeah. No.
What would you say to somebody out there that's nervous about getting into running, or thinks they're not a runner, or thinks it's not for them, or any of that? What would you say? How should they get into it?
Just put your shoes on and go. There's nothing to be scared of.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with a little pain too. Yeah, you're gonna hurt, especially if you've never done it before. But it's worth every second.
Right.
It's worth every second. Just do it. We've got too many little things in our brains that are telling us to not do this and do this, and it's like you got to kind of just somehow, whatever your way is, block out that noise and don't believe everything that you're thinking, because you're telling yourself a bunch of shit that's not true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dude, I know everything what you mean.
Yeah. What you're perceiving is not necessarily reality.
Yeah.
I'm
surprised with a lot of the people I talk to, whether they're in recovery or not, and just the amount of like self-doubt or negative self-talk or like all that stuff. And it's like, man, like I was definitely there. Like that's why I resonate with it. Like I was there at a point in my life, but like it's all shit we're telling ourselves. Nobody's telling you that.
Yeah, nobody at all. It was like I've heard you say it. Nobody gives a shit what you're doing anyway.
Nobody
It
cares.
doesn't fucking matter.
Nobody cares.
No,
Right.
That's all in your head.
The only people that I ever see judge are people that don't have the balls to do it themselves.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
The people that don't have the balls to get into the gym or get out there and run, like nobody gives a fuck what we look like. Nobody cares what you're wearing. Everybody's worried about themselves and what they look like.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But it's so cool when you see somebody begin on that journey and start getting that light bulb to go off, and you see them go running their first race or go get their first pair of running shoes and all that. And like those things were so monumental to me. The first pair of running shoes that somebody gave me, I was like, I can conquer the world.
Yep. Yep.
It was such a cool feeling. So
It'd be good to go back. I ran a little Jingle Bell 5K in the Domain with my nieces over during the holidays, and I wish we could go back to that being a kid state where you don't even think about what you're doing. You're just going out and doing it.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. I mean, I ran the Cap 10K with my 5-year-old niece last year, and she didn't know what the hell she was getting into. We didn't run the last 3 miles, but she got that, they all got that medal, and the smiles on their faces, to have that kind of feeling again as an adult.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I just heard this from somebody. I forget what conversation I was in, but they were saying how they were talking to this girl, and the girl had been in fitness her entire life because her parents were. And so, I forget the context of the conversation, but as she was talking, she basically said, she's like, I didn't know it was an option not to go to the gym. I thought this is just what everybody did.
Yeah.
And, now I remember. And so the guy I was talking to is a father, and he was just basically saying how hard that hit him, because he's like, that's not the message that my daughter's currently getting right now. But that's the message that she needs to get.
Yeah.
And so, like, you doing that for your nieces, bro, like, they're already that young. They're out there running. They get it. You know what I mean? They saw the excitement. They knew what it felt like to get the medal.
All the people cheering them on.
Yeah, dude. Like,
smiles on their faces were priceless.
Right.
Yep.
And then you have somebody else that just shoves a fucking iPad in their kid's face and lets it babysit them.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's a lot easier to do, and I don't have kids, so it's easy for me to say, but dude, I love nothing more than when I see people out there doing that, or we're running around Town Lake and there's a pregnant mom pushing a stroller out there still running, where it's like, yo, let's fucking go.
Yep.
So many people are, we just had a baby, we just this, we're pregnant, we're this, we're that. Excuse.
Yep.
I was talking to a gentleman yesterday who we both know, and I was asking him about the marathon and everything, asking him if he was ready, and I was like, what's your long run been so far? He's like, I got 13 in one time, and I was like, bro, we talked about this. I was like, anybody can sign up for a marathon and go muscle that shit out. You're going to be able to walk 26 miles if your life depended on it. It's a very different thing to set up and structure some training and go into a race knowing we're like, yo, I'm about to fuck this shit up.
Yeah.
And that's really what I was hoping. And he hit me with the, I don't have the time. And I was like, bro, shut the fuck up. You don't
See
have
the one
time.
that's not going to run the course prior? Or a different one? All right.
And I was like, bro, do you know how many people run the Austin Marathon? There's going to be over probably 30,000 people. You're telling me they all had time? Like they don't have kids and full-time jobs and fucking this, that, and the other thing. Deaths in the family, losing jobs, and they're still out there running. And then I used our, you know Amy?
I've never met her.
Oh, you got to meet her.
But yeah,
Amy's a legend.
I know who she is.
Amy's a legend. Amy's currently, I want to brag on Amy real quick. Amy's currently in an accelerated nurses program. She's the president of her class.
Yeah.
She's the only one in that class that's still holding down a full-time job, and her full-time job is working in the ER also. She has a side job at Restore. She fucking runs and is training for marathons. She's running races all the fucking time, like all that. And I'm like, bro, you're telling me you don't have time?
Yeah.
Like, that's not having time, and she could do it.
Yeah.
You
Was
carve
she
out
getting up at 2 like you?
savage.
That's brutal.
Savage.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Did the early shit bother you?
I've gotten better, but it's still, with my work schedule, still
Restaurant industry is
It's
different.
kind of all over the place. I'm not up super late, but I'm up late enough, to where, it's hard. Like today, I didn't have a problem getting up. I got up at 4:15, but
We were trying to
I
get
was
you
fighting it last year, training for the marathon. Like, I was cutting out the time, but man, I did not want to get out of bed a lot of mornings to run this time of year. It was so fucking cold.
Yeah.
But I did, still got out there, got my long runs in, but it's hard.
I don't care
I'm
how
still
hot it
working
is.
on
I'll go run, but when it's cold now, I'm a little bitch.
I have no problem running in the heat.
Yeah.
Yep. No problem. Agreed.
I'm not trying to do it at the heat of the day in the sun or anything. I'll still get up early, but that humidity is a beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's hilarious.
Yeah. But yeah, he'll find out. I mean,
Rude awakening.
Yeah.
Rude awakening on the horizon.
I know. I believe he'll get through it. It'll be interesting to see how much he's hurting.
So what is it like for you now, being a little bit deeper in the, how many years total you got?
So it'll be 4 in August. So I'm at like 3.5 right now, ish.
What's it like for you now, still being in the service industry, being on the sober side? I'm sure everybody that works for you or everybody in your restaurant isn't on the sober side. So what's that dynamic like?
It's a non-issue.
I know for you, but like,
yeah.
Does it make you now more of like, because you're their boss at the end of the day, but do you also have to kind of take on a mentor type role for people that are suffering? Or
I try to, yeah, because because I was very open about when I first got there, what was going on with me. So all of them knew right off the bat. But yeah, there's, I manage a lot of early 20, mid 20.
So when you got the job and you walked through the door, you told them, I'm sober, I'm in recovery?
Yeah. Now I had the benefit of the owner of the restaurant. I've been friends for him many years. Worked with him at Stubbs. He hired me at Taco Deli when he was director of ops there. So, I knew some people going in already. But yeah, I was very upfront during my interview, because he wanted me to come in and meet the managers. Everybody, one of the managers there is also sober. He's about to celebrate 12 years, I believe. And then once I got in there and got to know everybody, and I shared that in our first staff meeting as well. And I would talk to people one-on-one. Yeah.
What do you say, because I'm working with clients over the years or people that are early in recovery, and I can't tell you how many people you start hearing about them getting a job or hearing about them getting in a relationship or all these different things. And I'm like, well, did you let them know that you're this? And they're like, no, I didn't tell them.
Yeah.
So like, you as an employer, somebody walks in and lets you know, like, hey, just got sober, had an issue or anything like that. Do you think, what would be your advice to them as people newly sober are going out trying to navigate the work life?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I do get their apprehension, but I think ultimately.
Did you ever actually receive like flack for it? Or?
Oh, no, not at all. No. Tell your story, and people are going to be more understanding than you would think, and probably be looking at themselves in the mirror a little bit too sometimes.
That's what I've done.
And if anybody is, I've never experienced this, but I would imagine if anybody was like demeaning me or talking shit to me about my sobriety or what I've been through, then they can go, kick them to the curb.
Not the people for us.
Not the people that I need to be around, and I'm grateful that I've not experienced that. I'm not around those types of people, but I've got a great support network, whether it's family, friends, work, staff there. Yeah. Now I'm just trying to get, we do evals every year at work. I'm just trying to get, a couple of those evals have turned into therapy sessions for some of these kids.
Really?
So, like, I spoke about this the other night at the Monday Men's, but, like, I just want to let them know that I'm here for them, because when I was their age, I wasn't trying to hear it. But there's a couple that admittedly were like, yeah, I'm not feeling good. I'm down in the dumps. This is like, I know what I'm doing wrong, but I can't get myself out. And they know my story already, but just offer words of encouragement and let them know that when you're ready, we can talk. I can help. I can be a resource, point you in the right direction, and that's all that us being vocal about our experiences, no matter how shitty they were, is going to help people.
Right.
At some point in time, they're going to remember, oh yeah, I can go talk to this guy,
I know everybody's not in the position, you know what I mean? But like, I think about my military time and I think about the jobs I had. I never had anybody that did that for me. You know what I mean? That gave me that open space, that did that. And I think about how huge that would be, especially at your job. It's the last place you accept it or expect it.
Yeah.
But if you're going into work and, you're working in that industry and your boss is like, you can go to him and tell him that kind of stuff, bro, that's huge.
Totally.
And you're going above and beyond. Like, I'm sure the company doesn't expect you to do that or anything, but
No.
I have to imagine, like, that's the type of boss where I'm showing up for that dude even when he's not around. You know what I mean? Like, that's a boss you work your ass off for and show up for,
Totally.
not one you skirt and try to do the bare minimum for.
Yeah.
So that's good leadership.
Yeah, and I work on my leadership. That's something I'm always thinking about, coming in with the right attitude. And, I try to be there for them.
So you're a recovered alcoholic now. You got 4 years up under your belt. What does life look like now?
It's been great.
4 years, God willing.
Yeah, I'll be there. But it's been beautiful rebuilding my body, getting it stronger. So I have a good year of running because I haven't been able to run much the last 4 or 5 months. I've got a beautiful wife. We're on our 20th year of marriage and continue to build that relationship and repair it because that's an ongoing amends. Things are much, much better with that. And I've got 4 beautiful nieces that me and my wife care for quite a bit, actually, because their dad's not around. So that not having kids ourselves, having them around was an adjustment this past year, but this year I'm looking forward to stepping it up in the uncle game even more and taking care of them and being the positive force, male figure in their life that they don't have,
Running all the 5Ks this year.
All the 5Ks, exactly.
Good shit.
So and continue. Eldorado's kicking ass, so we're getting ready to expand. So that'll be hard at work throughout the year at that, getting ready for 2027.
Bring one down to Kyle, bro. We need a decent restaurant down there.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Everything's bullshit chains in Kyle.
That's how it is in Pflugerville too.
Yeah. What so this is a question I couldn't wait to ask you. Hypothetically speaking, you're walking out tonight. UFC championship of the world. What's your walkout song?
Oh my God, I've thought about this because I listen to a lot of music, and I can never remember. That's funny. I didn't know if you were gonna ask or not.
I ask every because I've literally asked every episode.
Like, I got a couple in mind. Because one of my favorite bands is Fish, which everyone will laugh at. So I was
just gonna laugh.
There's a Fish song. There's plenty of Fish song, but one is pretty driving. But I boiled it down to Bar Breaker by Prof is a badass start. It kind of just gets me moving, There's also a band called ODCs, which has a couple driving songs right off the bat. And I kind of went through Withering Hand is one. Starts off slow and then it's just a pile driver in your face. One night, not on YouTube much, but I went through went down a YouTube rabbit hole of music, and I saw a live performance of that song, and it just gave me the chills.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, yeah.
Oh,
It's called Withering Hand by ODCs. They've been around for a long time. Old psych rock band.
All right, I'm gonna check it out. You got me excited about it. If it's like that,
yeah.
I think Prof was the first thing. I don't know if you put it on a video. You did something on social media that caught my attention. I'm like, I didn't know Brady was a hip hop head.
Yeah, I mean, not like you got some lyricists that I'm not familiar with, but yeah, I mean, 90s hip hop, Tribe, Jurassic 5, that type of shit. Prof is awesome too.
Prof's a beast.
Yeah, he's funny as hell. Some good white boy rap there.
Some golden era shit.
Yeah, yep.
So everyone's heard your story. Let's say there's somebody out listening, identifies with your story, identifies with everything you're saying. They're still out there suffering. What would your advice to them be?
Just keep plugging away. You have more support than you think you have. Don't give up. Don't give up. Reach out. Reach out to people.
Hardest thing to do right there.
Yep, it is. It is. But if you can somehow be vulnerable, be honest with yourself, and reach out to people, you'll be surprised how many people come out and offer their support and extend a helping hand.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I'm honored to call you friend. I'm honored to catch some miles with you. I'm honored for you to be a part of anything I do. So I appreciate you every time you bring your knowledge and your guidance to the Monday Night Men's meeting, and when you come run with us, I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me.
Is there anything you want to leave everybody with? Any final last dunk you want to put on them?
No, just don't believe everything you think. I've been working a lot on myself with my recovery and my mental state and how I go about things. And I finally come to the realization that I don't control shit, and if you can just let go of what's going on in your head and come to a place of acceptance and gratitude and patience with yourself, the good things do follow.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, man.
If you would, the way we like to wrap up the show, everyone got to hear a little bit of your story. They know a little bit about you, but if you take a look in